Hello and welcome to Alex SpaceX Talks. This is my first live stream on YouTube, and I must admit I had some difficulties in setting up this live stream, so that's why my previously posted live stream 6 o'clock I was not able to run it. So here is an ad hoc live stream from my channel. I hope you all forgive me because it's the first time I'm speaking live here on YouTube, and maybe the next live stream will be even better. So welcome to my channel, Alex SpaceX Talks. For those of you who are new to my channel and who don't know me personal, my name is Alex. I'm from Zurich, Switzerland, 45 years old. I'm married, have 2 kids, and obviously my big passion and hobby is with astronomy, space travel, and especially SpaceX and Elon Musk. That is why that I've decided almost 1 year ago to create an own YouTube channel. I mean, I work full-time for the Swiss company Swisscom, so that's why I don't find a lot of time to produce content, because having a YouTube channel is still my hobby. So let's say every hour that I have left after work or taking care of my kids, my family, I spend in creating scripts for my YouTube channel. And I must say it has been a real great journey so far. Since I have started my YouTube channel, I have already uploaded 65 videos, mainly about SpaceX and Starship, but also about general astronomy topics such as is time travel possible, or what is a black hole. The purpose of my channel is really to, let's say, spread the word of Elon Musk or the mission statement of SpaceX, and make maybe space exploration and astronomy more, let's say, doable for people who don't know exactly what is going on besides on planet Earth, and what the mission statement of Elon Musk's company SpaceX is all about. So I would just like to share my passion about astronomy and SpaceX in particular. So that's about myself, about my channel, and today I would like to talk about roughly 20 minutes about SpaceX and beyond, mission Mars. I've prepared some slides that I would like to show to you, and this is the content that I would like to bring to you during this live stream. So I would like to talk about SpaceX and Elon Musk, mission statement and purpose. Then I would like to talk about the notorious famous Starship and Super Heavy rocket, and in detail about mission Mars. So let's just kick off the presentation with SpaceX and Elon Musk. I could talk about hours of Elon Musk, so just let you know that he was born in South Africa. He then went to college in Canada when he was 18 years old, but he decided to do something else. He started his own business, and it basically all started with PayPal. And when he sold PayPal, he made $250 million, and those are basically just a collection of the companies which are currently run by Elon Musk. You all know Tesla and SpaceX. But Elon Musk has also other companies like the Boring Company, SolarCity, Neuralink, and also Twitter. So if I had asked people 2 years ago, random people on the streets, maybe 100 people, who is Elon Musk, then maybe 80 people would have told me, Elon Musk is the crazy guy, he's tweeting all the time about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And if now I ask people on the streets, who is Elon Musk, then I would say out of 100 people, 95 would say, it's a crazy guy with Twitter. So still crazy guy. and still very, very famous. If you compare the mission statements of big companies like, I don't know, Google, Facebook, Nestle, or even Swisscom with the mission statement of SpaceX, then nothing quite catches the dimension of the mission statement of SpaceX. And if you read it here, it begins, more or less okay, that SpaceX designs rockets and spacecraft. The company was founded by Elon Musk. But then, I mean, this is really, and this is not a April Fool's Day, it's not a joke, this is the real mission statement of Elon Musk with the ultimate goal of making life multiplanetary. So that is what it's all about. This is the ultimate goal of SpaceX. This is the sole existence of the company, and it's the ultimate vision of Elon Musk. He wants to go to Mars, he wants to colonize it, build a self-sustaining city, and in the end, he wants to make us human beings a spacefaring civilization. And he wants to make life multi-planetary. So this is the ultimate goal of Elon Musk's company, SpaceX. This is a collection of logos of private space companies, and if you go back in time, maybe 50, 40 years, you had famous moon landings, the NASA moon landings with the mighty Saturn V rocket. And the last 10 or 15 years, a lot of private space companies entered the market, and they're not in the first place competitors to governmental agencies like NASA, ESA, and Roscosmos. It is more like a cooperation, because more and more private companies want to land on the moon. They want to go to Mars and beyond. And most people know SpaceX. That has been founded by Elon Musk almost 20 years ago. So we have SpaceX on the other hand. Then we have the famous company Blue Origin from Jeff Bezos, who is the founder and CEO of Amazon. Then we have Virgin Galactic by Richard Branson. We have Relativity Space, Stoke Space Technologies, and Rocket Lab. So those companies, they're private companies with the goal of reaching either a moon, low Earth orbit, or Mars and beyond. I guess you've all heard about the billionaire space race. So those three famous people, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Richard Branson, they have one goal in common. They want to reach not outer space, but they would like to leave Earth. But if you compare their mission goals and statements and their visions, you can say that Richard Branson, his company Virgin Galactic, that's purely for space tourism. He wants to offer rich people the possibility to enter low Earth orbit, maybe beyond. So this is the pure focus is on tourism. Then you have Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, he thinks a bit more beyond. He also wants to build a space hotel in low Earth orbit, and he wants to build a moon base. So he thinks a bit further ahead. And then you have Elon Musk. Of course, I guess in a couple of years you can book flights with his Starship rockets to the moon and Mars, but currently he's not focused on bringing tourists to the moon and Mars. His ultimate goal is reaching Mars, establishing a human presence, and colonize it. That's his sole purpose. Reusability, if you talk about SpaceX and its rockets, then reusability is really key. Here you see all the current rockets from Elon Musk's company SpaceX. And if you have a look at Falcon 9 and Falcon 10 rockets, you immediately notice that they have landing legs. So why do they have landing legs? Because Elon Musk's vision was to build fully reusable rockets. Rockets that are not only used once, like the mighty Saturn rocket during the Apollo missions, he wanted to build rockets that could be reused and were able to transport dozens of satellites and also cargo to low Earth orbit. And when Elon Musk told the press some more than 12 years ago that his intention is to build reusable rockets, all the people thought, now he's crazy, now he's ready for a mental institution, because it was just not thinkable of how it could be possible of building reusable rockets. But when I first saw the first Falcon 9 rocket stage landing back on Earth, I felt almost like being in a science fiction movie. And for almost 5 or 6 years, we consecutively see the Falcon 9 SpaceX rocket landing on Earth. So we almost got used to it. But by then, it was simply, all the people thought Elon Musk has gone crazy now. It's not going to be possible to build reusable rockets. But that was really, really a game changer for the whole space industry. And we already see companies like Blue Origin and also Chinese rocket companies picking up and adapting the Falcon 9 and Falcon 10 reusability method of Elon Musk. Starship and Super Heavy. So we talked about the famous Falcon 9 rocket, which is currently being used by SpaceX to transport the well-known Starlink satellites into orbit. But now we talk about Starship and Super Heavy, because this rocket will be the rocket who will be capable of transporting cargo and humans to the Moon, Mars and beyond. This is a early picture artist concept of Starship. So Starship will be a fully reusable rocket. So what does it mean? Starship will be propelled to low Earth orbit and then further on to the Moon and Mars by its first stage rocket, so-called Super Heavy. And both rocket stages, the first rocket stage Super Heavy, as well as the second stage, the actual Starship, will be fully reused. That means both rocket stages, Super Heavy and Starship, will return to the planet Earth. They will land, they will be checked, refurbished, refilled, and after a couple of hours of maintenance work, they lift off again to their destination, Moon and Mars. So this is the mighty Starship and Super Heavy rocket. Talking about rocket engines, this is the famous newly manufactured Raptor engine, which is currently being produced at Starship, the town Boca Chica in Texas, United States. I don't want to dig deep into the rocket engine history, because this is rather complicated, so I will keep it very, very simple. Normal rockets, they run on liquid kerosene and liquid oxygen, but for Starship and Super Heavy, Elon Musk decided to use liquid methane as a alternative propellant. He chose liquid methane for this alternative propellant. And why did he choose methane? So there is a possibility on Mars with the so-called Sabatier process to produce liquid methane. So his intention was that when we reach Mars with Starship, when we build up a colony, then we could actually produce the fuel which is being needed for the Starships to return to Earth on planet Mars. And that is why he has chosen methane. And the Raptor engine, compared to the already existing Merlin engines on the Falcon 9 and Falcon 10 rockets, is a completely different rocket engine type. And that is why manufacturing the Raptor engine took SpaceX already 2 years. I talked about Starbase, so this is the manufacturing place where all the magic happens, where Starship and Super Heavy prototypes are currently being built, also with the Raptor engines. Starbase is located near the town Boca Chica in state Texas in the United States. Let's talk about the Starship test flight. The last test flight of a Starship prototype was almost 2 years ago. And for over 2 years now, it's not that there hadn't been any progress by the SpaceX crew, but we just didn't see another test flight happening. And finally, on Monday, so tomorrow, April 17, if all goes right, we will witness the first fully integrated test flight of a Starship prototype on top of a Super Heavy prototype. You can watch this event on SpaceX's Livestream, but you can also watch it on various YouTube channels. The broadcast will start tomorrow, Monday, April 17 on 12 GMT. And if you ask me if this test flight will really happen on Monday, I tell you I'm really not sure. I am optimistic that we will witness the first fully integrated test flight in April. But if it's going to happen tomorrow or even on Tuesday or on Wednesday, because those are the two backup dates, that's really hard to say. Because normally if you have a Falcon 9 rocket launch, you have a scrub during bad weather, but with this, I mean, Starship and Super Heavy being totally new prototypes launching for the first time, I guess it is really hard to predict if we will see a test flight happening tomorrow. But anyway, I mean, stay tuned, stay curious. I would say that we might see the first test flight of a Starship prototype the coming 2 weeks. I hope that it's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, I talked about SpaceX mission goal, reusability, Starship, Super Heavy, but what was also a game changer was the announcement of Elon Musk that he is trying to catch the returning boosters out of mid-air by a huge catching tower. And yeah, when I heard this the first time, I was really flabbergasted about this. And all the well-known YouTube channels from Felix Schlang, Marcus Haus, and the other guys, they also said, how on earth could this be possible, catching a returning booster out of mid-air? But this is the clear intention. You see here a artist concept of the huge catching tower called Mechazilla. And Mechazilla's intention is really to catch the returning boosters out of mid-air. And that is why currently Starship and Super Heavy prototypes don't have any legs, because they don't need to land. They will be catched by Mechazilla. And why? Because reusability is not enough for Elon Musk. There must be rapid reusability, and that is why he is building such catching towers. Let's talk about Starship and Mars. How to reach Mars. Some of you might have asked why we don't only have a Starship. Why is Super Heavy needed? And the answer is because of Earth's gravity. Because you need a lot of fuel and a lot of energy and a lot of power to escape Earth's gravitational field. And that is why, even to propel a Starship to low Earth orbit, a fully fueled Super Heavy booster is needed. And then once the Starship has reached Earth's orbit, it needs to be refueled by at least 4 or 5 Starship tankers until it's fully fueled for the journey to Mars. And then on Mars's surface, there is no super heavy needed because Mars's gravitational pull is very, very low compared to Earth. And that is why the only thing which needs to be refilled on Mars is Starship. Now, talking about the Mars timeline, I know that Elon Musk is sometimes over-ambitious. He founded SpaceX 20 years ago, and for him, sometimes it does not go too fast. So the Mars timeline, you need to know that it only makes sense to reach Mars every second year, because every second year Mars and Earth are aligned in a way which allows the time travel to Mars to be very short, and also the fuel consumption is not that heavy. So when will we see the first Starship touching down on Martian soil? 2024, that's out of question. So the next window will be 2026. But my assumption, to be clear, is that maybe in the year 2026 we will witness the first touchdown of a lunar Starship on the moon. Then by 2028 it could be that the first unmanned Starship will land on Mars, and then 2 years later, 2030, I would say it might be possible that in the year 2030 a crewed Starship might land on Mars. When we talk about reaching the moon, Mars and beyond, it's not only done by creating a rocket like Starship, because interplanetary travel has many obstacles and hurdles for us human beings to overcome. There was a great article in the Wired magazine which dealt with the hurdles of interplanetary travel, and in this article there were 12 great challenges mentioned, and I just picked out 5 of those. So the first obstacle is radiation, because people traveling to Mars, they are in a Starship for over 7 or 8 months, and the Starship must be protected to conquer the immense radiation. So even on the surface of Mars, human beings would be they would need to face the severe radiation. Then you have that's a cool word in English, muscular dystrophy. In German it's called Muskelschwund. So people traveling to Mars, they need to exercise. They need to daily exercise, and that is why all the astronauts currently staying on the ISS, they need to train every day to conquer or to fight muscular dystrophy. Then loneliness. Okay, if you want to go to Mars and don't want to have a one-way ticket, you will be away for roughly 2.5 years. So 2.5 years spending with your crew, I mean, that's a tough decision, and that's really, loneliness is a great challenge to overcome. Then the duration, one way is around 8 months, and then the costs. I mean, building Starship is one thing, but having a mission to Mars, that's a whole other stuff. So the costs for a Mars mission, billions of US dollars. To conclude, Mission Mars, Elon Musk does not want to build a Starship and reach Moon and Mars and that's it. He has bigger plans on his mind. He wants to really build a self-sustaining city on Mars. He wants to send 1,000 starships to Mars, and he wants to colonize it. And I don't know, I'm 45 years old. I would say if all goes right, I might be still alive to see such a picture on the front page of the New York Times. It could well be. Because Elon Musk has plans to send robots to Mars who will build the self-sustaining city. But first, I guess really the first step is 2030 to have an uncrewed Starship mission, and then every 2 years to send dozens of starships with cargo and human beings on Mars. And then maybe it could be really possible to build up a colony on Mars within the next 50 years. And then terraforming, making Mars habitable. So what is terraforming? Terraforming means to change a dead planet like Mars into a habitable planet like planet of Earth. In theory, terraforming is possible, but the problem is currently we don't have the technology. It is way too expensive and too costly. I've read the book, I don't have it here, by Michio Kaku, The Future of Humanity, where he spends an entire chapter about terraforming planets and terraforming Mars. He says terraforming could be doable on Mars, but it would take at least 500 to 600 years to fulfill. So until then, terraforming just stays in the realm of science fiction. So to wrap up, we come to the last 2 slides of my presentation. Some of you might ask, why? Why do we need this? Why do we need to build a Starship? Why do we need to go to the Moon and Mars? Don't we have enough problems on Earth? Yes, we do have enough problems on Earth, but I would say those problems on Earth are being dealt by other companies and people. We have Greta Thunberg, who is fighting global warming. Then we had Mother Teresa, Abbé Pierre, and in Switzerland we had Pfarrer Sieber, who is taking care of poor people. And for space exploration, we have him. We have Elon Musk. And yeah, if someone asks me, Alex, why do we need this? I tell him this famous quote by Elon Musk when he says, if the future does not include being out there among the stars and being a multi-planet species, I find that incredibly depressing. And yeah, I would say the same thing, because in 4 billion years' time, the sun will cease to exist, and yeah, I think that we should have a planet B somewhere outside of our solar system in a long-term view. And if you ask me again if the test flight of Starship will happen tomorrow, I will also quote Elon Musk when he says, I say something and then it usually happens, maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. That was it, folks. Thanks for joining in. As I told you in the beginning, next time I hope that my previously planned live stream will work. But I hope that you have enjoyed today's session. And for those of you who are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. And I would be delighted in having a thumbs up. So all the best, take care, stay curious, and witness tomorrow's test flight of Starship. Go SpaceX, go Starship. Ciao.